now. Round 3, heat number 4 is just getting started. Filipe Toledo taking on Davey Cathels. These guys have a lot to be thankful for when they look back to the legends of the sport. All the great Brazilian competitors like Neco Paderets are so proud of what guys like Toledo are doing. Toledo up now, just up and out. Took a look at a wave before, it was a .7. We talked about small numbers in the last heat. 4s and 5s, we'll see if things get a little better for these guys in the lineup. Rookie from North Narrabeen gets one big turn before going down.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Davey Cathels comes from North Narrabeen on the northern beaches of Sydney there, so quite in tune with his backhand. I think his backhand probably his weapon of choice if you'd ask him. So this is going to be an interesting situation here. If he uses that backhand, there's the odd right, as you heard Matty banting, and even Connor say that there was a right that came through towards the end of the heat that he was a little bit too deep for, so you really do got to keep your eyes open. And especially with the tide at the position it's at right now, we're going to see a lot of water moving out.
So always a threat to win. Part of a gigantic rookie class is Cathels this season. Toledo, already a few years under his belt, already was part of his first world title race last year. He's getting barreled out front. He'll make it. It's a fun looking tube ride into a reverse on the right on the inside corner. We're finally seeing some aerials, Potts, and that's getting you excited.
Well, what's getting me excited is that's that little right-hander that we're talking about, and Toledo just opened up with a great sort of score, nice little barrel. Not a deep tube, but a tricky one. Real technical sort of barrel. Let's have a look. I think he was looking for maybe an air and then came off the bottom, caught that rail, which wiped off a bit of speed, put him in such a perfect position. And then as Toledo does, once that confidence is up, this kid can do pretty much anything. Nice little air reverse there and kicks out, so nice solid score. Going to be coming in for Filipe Toledo. You can see just wiping off the speed there, dragging that hand, trying to get himself nice and deep in that barrel. Not a clean exit. It's not going to be a huge score, Joe, but that right-hander starting to click, that tide starting to move out. We're going to see a lot more rights being ridden. And then the pop that he gets, I mean, that's a 2-foot wave right there on the inside, but Toledo virtually from a standstill has that ability just to get that board up and over the lip. Amazing talent from Toledo.
Filipe Toledo took over the world last year in groundbreaking performances that had never been seen before, and conditions at Snapper Rocks and also at the Oi Rio Pro, where he was getting 10s for full rotations. Snapper, he had a lot of time on a wave where he was explosive with powerful carves, but you could still see his head's in the game. He's still fired up to compete and looking for his first win this season. Solid one setting up out the back for Davey Cathels. This is the right that you were predicting would open up. It's a big rooftop flow into the flats. Meets the lip again. Lands in the impact zone, and a solid score will be coming in for the Australian. Toledo's got the pace like he's going for something big. Regroups down the line. Big full rotation for Toledo and stomps it perfectly. Carves it to seal the deal. He knew something was happening to this running left, giving him a ramp to showcase his talent as maybe the best performance surfer on tour. Already had a big number to 717. Where are we going with that one, Potts?
Well, it's going to be solid. That's all I know. So is Davey Cathels' wave, by the way. There was a couple of critical turns from him, forcing that last maneuver in, and you know, free falling out of the sky. Toledo though,
regrouped and still pulled off a gigantic maneuver.
Yeah, watch here. Catches the rail, almost loses it right there, but then the ability to keep going, full rotation. That was all the way around, landed facing the beach, came out of it with speed, and straight into the next turn. That's impressive. To be able to land something like that with your feet in the exact position to then go into the next turn, I mean, that's a talent that very few guys have. Bang, straight into it there. There was no messing around. There was no catching of the rail. Let's have a look here. You can see him setting it up. You heard the crowd go wild for Cathels' wave. Watch here as he catches the rail right there. Almost loses it. That back foot literally came right off the board. Then he had to get that speed back, which he did. That stance gets wider, connects with the lip, absolutely perfect, rotates in the air, eyes on the prize. That's a huge, huge aerial right there, and Cathels front row seats.
Toledo's loving the sound of that whistle. An 8.6 for the full rotation alley-oop. 7.17 before that. So some bigger numbers like we're hoping for with the changing of the tide. Like you said, Cathels in the mix as well, because he just dropped a 7.83. Now needs a 7.95 to answer back into a cutback.
Yeah, this is Davey's wave. Let's have a look here. Look, beautiful up and over right here. And how did he fit this one in? Just got around the section in time to squeak in that one. So 2 free fall drops.
Toledo famous for that one guy that can get 10s with closeouts because of his ability to perform above the lip.
Scary thing about Toledo, Joe, is that, hang on a sec, we'll get back to that.
Toledo watches Cathels roll in, both just checking out these last couple of waves quickly.
The scary thing about Toledo, and there's a few guys on tour that are like that. John's one of them, Medina's the other one, Toledo. There's a handful of guys, you know, Julian Wilson.
Round 3 for the Quiksilver Pro got called on immediately, and we're going through one of the best heats so far. Toledo up now on the left. Hits it vertically a couple of times. Positioning perfect on this bank. And now jams it again over the lip as he'll ride free. Cathels on the next one. Snap to carve, and this one's starting to bowl through the inside corner. Fading roundhouse cutback. This is pushing him quickly down the beach. Frames it up nice and vertical. And the surfer from North Narrabeen kicks out of a solid left-hander. Great exchange once again. Cathels and Toledo are pushing each other. Completely different approaches to get their first couple scores, and now both going to backside turns for this last exchange here, Potts.
Yeah, you know what, I'll be surprised to see the scores here. Davey Cathels just connecting there on that first turn, got stuck behind the whitewater a little bit, so this wave not really cooperating, not giving him that vertical face that you need to get those big scores on the left. As opposed to that right's a little shorter, but it's a lot more vertical, so the way that the maneuvers look a lot more dynamic. Even though this wave just kept giving Davey Cathels all the way through the inside, he's going to better his situation, Joe. Filipe Toledo, you know, you talk about having a complete game. Toledo's backhand is absolutely amazing as well. Nice, clean, sharp turns. This wave just stood up nicely on the inside for him. Bang! Finished off nicely. Can he ride out of it? Yes, he can. So Toledo looking to replace a 7.17. Cathels just a 2.17. So Davey definitely going to improve his situation.
Big full rotation, and during the recap, Toledo got very busy once again, Potts.
Yeah, Filipe lining it up, and as I said before, it's going to be tough for Filipe. Oh my goodness, how was that turn from Filipe Toledo? And that's a part of the game that really he has worked really hard on. You know, we always knew this kid was great in the air, but now he's starting to get that rail game, Joe. He's starting to fill out a bit. He's starting to get stronger. You know, everyone was questioning this kid's ability to ride big, gnarly waves. Give him a couple of years. Give him a few more years just to work it out.
From a runner-up in the King of the Groms to Matt Banting. Banting took the last win. Toledo is going to follow suit with a win here over Davey Cathels with some hi-fi surfing. 15.93 total. A single alley-oop, a full rotation. That could be the maneuver of the contest so far, as he is off and running into round 4 action. And hopefully these conditions continue to get better